Nirmal, how are you? So good to see you after so long.
Hi, it's so good
Hello,
to see my
Nirmal.
colleagues. Hi,
Yes,
Priya,
so
how are
nice to
you?
see you.
Hi, Asma ji, how are you doing?
So good to see
You're,
So,
you.
you're, you're
So
on
good
mute.
to
Yeah,
see
Asma
you.
ma'am, you want to say?
yeah,
No, I
yeah.
was saying so good to see you, Mr. Nirmal, after so many years.
This
No, no,
was the
call me
best
Nirmal,
surprise
please.
element, Uncle.
Yeah.
You have
You
all the
put.
good people here. You have
Yeah.
all the good people here, and the final session is from Nirmal. This is
No,
how we planned it.
I was more than happy to listen to Asma ji, Priya ji, and Sarita. I didn't even want to be part of the session. I was happy to be there, listen to them.
you're honored.
No, we also want to hear from you. We have heard from Asma ji, Priya ji, and Sarita. Now we want to hear from you. I remember Nirmal is back on my webinar. I think at least 2 साल तो हो गए. Last time Nirmal was at one of our webinars. I really learned so much, and I when I reached out to Nirmal for this, I had this in mind कि कुछ सीखते हैं और नया सीखने को मिलेगा from Nirmal, and we'll slot a full 30 minutes for you. And
Oh
he
my God.
slotted 30, he slotted 30 minutes, and I said I want to learn. See, the good counselors know you. I mean, Priyaji knows you, Asmaji knows you, Sarita I'm sure knows you. You have been doing some phenomenal
I don't
work
know if
for
that's in a
last
good
few
way or a
years.
bad way, but we'll take
भाई
it.
बढ़िया
Good
वे
enough,
है,
sir.
गुड वे है. हम सब आपको we have we are all doing good works, but आप तो you have been in this field for at least 2 decades, if not more,
No,
है
no,
ना?
15 years, not
15
2 decades yet.
years. अच्छा
Don't make me
चलिए
sound older
15.
than I am, please.
तो थोड़ा सा निर्मल, let's start with this today. Before, I know I have shared a curated questions for you, but
Mhm.
what I know about you, and this is like, we're not doing a podcast at Masters Union, but I want to know more about you as a person, because those podcasts give me that idea.
Uh-huh.
Tell us a little bit about your journey. For your LinkedIn says that you went to Stanford,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
and then so tell us what brought you to career counseling and career advising, and
Correct.
then we'll take it from there.
Sure, sure. It's interesting. So, ever since you come back, back in the day, not too many people were going. So when I came back, a lot of young kids, my juniors from school would reach out to me, Nirmal, we need help. Can you help us with this application, with this essay? The information was not there. There was no social media, there was no internet. So I would just help them out with the things. And over the years, I've been doing it pro bono for so many kids who come to me. So I think it was 2012 or yeah 2012 when someone came to me for help and they were already going to some counselor. I don't want to name someone. And when I helped them, they said, you are doing such a great job, you should do it professionally, right? There's so many people who are doing it professionally, why don't you do it? And I was already in education. I was doing school consulting, teacher training, and a few other things in education. So it seemed a natural progression for me to evolve, to learn more about proper professional counseling processes, etc. So I started doing that in 2012. I got into it and decided to make money out of my passion. So that's where we are. It's not just a passion now, it's a profession as well. So over the years, the
Wonderful.
journey has been fruitful. Yeah.
So let's start from there. I mean, so you made your hobby, passion, your bread and butter, and you built Cognix, and you, I mean, I'm sure hundreds of students you would have counseled in the last 15 years. So my first question was around the same line. Over the last
Mhm.
decade, we can say 15 years in your practice, what have you seen in terms of change in student mindset? Let's say 15 years
Right,
back
right.
to today.
Absolutely. As I just mentioned, when we were there and we were going through the process, there was not enough information. I remember we'd go to the US Education Department office, USIFI, and sit there with big, thick books to research colleges. There was no internet. But due to this overexposure now, whether you call it social media, YouTube, a lot of seniors who've been there who come back and share their stories, students have access to a lot more information than we had, just even a few years ago. So this information overload comes with its challenges. You have to start filtering them, but it also has made students a lot more open, I think, because over the last few years, especially in the last 3 to 4 years, with the changing scenario that we have seen, the conversation has sort of shifted. The mindset has shifted from where can I get in, which are the top places I can get into, which are the prestigious places I can get into, to now where will I actually be happy, where will I be okay? They are prioritizing the fit, they're prioritizing the mental health, they're prioritizing the belonging more than prestige alone. And I also see this change in the mix of colleges that students are aiming for. And I think some of the panelists just before this did mention the different mindsets that students are going. The one dream school mindset has softened for some. But I see that still there in many competitive schools, and it doesn't help when counselors and schools put out, on their social media, 5 Stanfords, 5 Harvards, 5 UPenns, three this, three that. So that peer pressure works on a few, but a lot of the others are happy that obsession hasn't disappeared completely, but it is now coexisting with a lot more pragmatic and practical voices, I believe. Right. And also students, as I think Priya ma'am was mentioning, are increasingly hedging their options. They're looking into multiple countries, and India is coming back into the conversation in a big way. We have so many options in India. Increasingly, the private colleges like yours, which are coming up, providing world-class education, liberal arts education, practical education, etc. So students are increasingly looking at India. I saw some statistic this morning. I haven't verified it, but it read that about 35%, there's a 35% drop in number of students going abroad from India for studies. So you can see, where are they going? They're coming back, they're staying in India and they're studying here. So there is a mindset which is more open, which is more accepting, I believe.
No, absolutely. And we are seeing that. I mean, now India, we have
Hmm.
our own homegrown private universities that are now, we call them new age universities that are now coming of
Right.
age. I mean, there are at least 15, 20 of them. And now we have new international branch campuses coming up of the UK,
Yes.
Australian, and US universities where they are also
Right.
thinking of attracting this crowd. And we also have the geopolitical headwinds where, I mean, the visas are
Yes.
getting difficult, the currency exchange is getting expensive. There are increasingly questions around ROI and will I get a
Hmm.
job? Will I get a PR? And so those kind of
Absolutely.
stuffs are happening. And I think, and we are seeing it in our admissions teams here.
Yeah.
I mean, I have colleagues across all the new age universities, and all of them are seeing
Hmm.
a rise in the number of applicants, and many of them
Yes.
are students who would have gone abroad traditionally to US
Right.
and
Right.
UK, and now they are having second thoughts because then all of these factors are coming in their play. Thank you so much,
Hmm.
Nirmal, for
Absolutely.
validating that. And you're right. I mean, we are reading this data. I'm sure it will be. We
Hmm.
had a colleague from Qatar who showed her data points just at
Okay.
before this session, and I've taken a screenshot of that slide. But she
Uh-huh.
showed a 23% of drop in student enrollments in US universities. And then she was
Right.
also
Right.
talking about the UAE colleagues were talking about how
Hmm.
international branch campuses in UAE and Qatar, and then definitely India are also increasingly coming part of
Correct.
the
Correct.
conversations that counselors are having with the
Absolutely.
community.
And a
So
large
thank
part
you.
is probably the rising foreign exchange, right? I mean, you'd rather be here, even if it's for a foreign university with a campus here, than go out to that original campus.
Yeah, yeah. So Nirmal, thank you for that opening comments. Now, can we also talk about, I mean, I keep hearing this thing about Gen Z. I mean, you also touched upon it, ki information overload or Instagram heavy,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
and you also touched upon ki हाँ मतलब yes, so yes, Harvard and UPenn and those Ivy League, when counselors put up those Insta stories, or the school
Yeah.
celebrates those admits more, the students feel pressurized
Yeah.
in a sense that okay, the brighter ones are like okay, why can't I do it? But yes,
Mm.
there are a few. I am a big supporter. I'm a faculty, so I'm not a career counselor, but I teach these Gen Zs in the classroom. And when I have these
Hmm.
conversations in my classroom, I find that we are being too hard on them. I
Yeah.
mean, if we were growing in a generation that had access to the world's information on a mobile, and we were just 15, 16-year old, I'm sure
Right.
we would have grown up in the same way. So what are your
Absolutely.
thoughts on this Gen Z and this the pressure? Are they able to cope with
Hmm.
you in your own practice? Are you finding them smart enough to deal with this, or you think they
Yeah.
need extra help? How do you tackle this Gen Z,
Right.
the noise around this Gen Z
Right.
generation, and if they are smarter or if whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, if they have very few less attention span, and you
Hmm.
talk one thing with them one day, the next day they are changing. If they see a reel and they're like,
Right.
okay, no, I want
Right.
to look at this because my friend
Yeah.
went there and there's a lovely reel that has come on
Right.
Instagram. So what do you say to
Or
them?
or Sharma ji ka ladka next door is doing this. I have to do
वो तो
that
हमारे
also.
टाइम से चला आ रहा है.
True, true. No, I think so. I think this information overload, and there is a struggle. There is a real struggle with these kids. This has accentuated, I believe, after COVID. When during COVID, a lot of these kids, those who are going into colleges now, have spent through 2, 3 years locked down in their homes with online education. And the struggle is real for them because their attention span just went for a toss in that time. They were glued to their devices. Their class would be going on, but they would be doing something else. So their bases have been eroded. Some people have transcended that, but I would say on an average, the student who's gone through COVID has struggled. And that is coming to light over the last 2, 3 years when they go into high school, when they're applying, etc. They realize that they've lost that base, they've lost that ability to work hard, they've lost that ability to focus and go into depth on one thing. Because it's like, you don't like one screen, you go to another screen. And that has ingrained into their mindset that if I don't like something, let me move on to something else. Right? This whole, and we do the same thing. My attention span over the years has gone down because I don't like something, I move to something else. So I don't compromise when it comes to other things in my life also. I would rather not spend time with people I don't like. Well, earlier I would be more patient and more accommodating. So I think the struggle is there for there, and therefore, as counselors, I think it makes our role tougher. It's not just a transactional role anymore. I believe it's a more supportive, more transformative role. A lot of counselors who will stick to, okay, I'm just going to help you with the applications, are going to struggle with their kids. Your role goes beyond just counseling for admissions. It goes into their mental health being. We may not be trained for that, but the conversations we have will help those kids navigate. This morning, I had a long conversation with someone who's about to go to Georgia Tech in August, and she went into full panic mode. And a lot of it was because of the information overload she was facing, different WhatsApp groups, different forums, and different students and seniors telling her, do this, do that. And she went into panic mode and she called me last night frantically that I don't think I want to go anymore. So this morning, we were on a 1 hour long Zoom call with her and explained to her everything. So this counseling approach has to be more humane, not just transactional. Otherwise, my work is done. She got into Georgia Tech, she'll go there. Why should I bother about her well-being, her mental state when she goes there? So yes, the struggle is there, and we as counselors have to evolve beyond just transactional things into more transformative, supportive. I would say making the students understand their credo in life as well.
Absolutely. And I think my question is linked, and I'll ask it here right now. I mean, what are students worried about but not saying directly? This is what I had thought of. I think if you can just spend, you can spend maybe 30 seconds more on elaborating what you wanted to say here.
I see that fear, also there's a fear of, there's an anxiety because of parent expectations. Now, that was there in our time as well. But parents, because of their social status, their cocktail circuit, this kid is going there, that kid is going there, putting their collar up, they're coming to me and putting that pressure on me in front of their parents. My kid has to go into top 20 or is not going at all. Right? Or something like that, because what will I say to my friends? Their kids are going to these places. So kids don't say it outright, but they start hedging. They want to keep all their options open. Also, I think there is a peer pressure, which is making them do more because everyone else is doing so much more. Right. And they want to go out of what their comfort zone is, and they want to do a lot more than they can handle. And sometimes because of heavy counselor involvement, heavy AI involvement in their profile and essays, etc., there's also a fear of being found out. That what if I'm not my genuine self? I get into a place where I don't belong and I'm not competitive there, right? And I struggle there. So I'm a imposter. That imposter syndrome comes in sometimes, right? That should I be going to this place because maybe I don't deserve to be here because everything was so manufactured in my profile. With sorry to use these words, but it happens. It's happening with kids nowadays.
Yeah. No, I was saying, sorry, I just want to add here. The thought came to my head 2 days back. A video came up to me of a student who had prepared a video profile for Stanford or some Ivy League, and she got in. And I saw the comments below that video. She had some 28,000 likes. And then the students below were commenting. I mean, nowadays universities are not happy only with grades. They also want to have world-class videos being created and extracurricular and this and that. And then definitely, so the kid that is building that is like, okay, some senior had maybe our age had written. I mean, at my time, college admissions were much more simpler. Just give the 12th exam and get through to the college. now the universities want the kids to go around and play and do whatever. I mean,
have a patent in your name. Otherwise, you're not getting into an MIT or something.
I mean, now people are writing research proposals and research and doing this. I'm a research scholar. For last 3 years, I've been doing my PhD. I know how difficult it is to do a research paper. And I just wonder, and this is the question that I
Every
keep asking,
second
how
kid
does
is
a
writing a
student
research paper. Yes,
research
every
paper?
second
And I'm
kid.
like, how are they able to do this along with their 11th, 12th exams and then school and then 10 coachings and
True.
then a research paper to call it off? I mean, so are we, you are absolutely correct, Nirmal. Thank you for shouting that out loud. I mean, are we asking our kids too much? Have we created that bar which is so high? And I had read a book,
Hmm.
I'm forgetting the name, where it was saying that now we are accelerating the adulthood. Earlier,
Yeah.
the kids used to have that time and space in college to
Hmm.
just be themselves. Now we want them to
Yeah.
be, their LinkedIn should be perfect, Instagram should be
Yes.
perfect. You have to look perfect every time, and they gone are those days when they can just let their hair down and be like, okay,
Right.
either the bright ones we are burning them off with so much work, and or the other ones are saying I just don't care. I
The
mean, I don't
pressure
want to
and the
care about it.
pressure on
The
them is
pressure,
crazy.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they're like, okay, I gave up. I mean, I don't think you guys are sane. Must sort yourself out. What do you want from? So
Yeah.
I also feel the same thing, that maybe, and I come from Masters Union where we have very very smart kids, and we are very high on. I mean, those kind of kids that want
Right.
to build businesses, and they are coming in year one. Okay, we are telling them drop shipping, go do drop shipping, go build a
Hmm.
business, go content creation channels, go build your Instagram page, go build your LinkedIn page, create content. And I'm like, sometimes I feel, I mean, are we asking too much of them too early?
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
parents come to us, and like I tell them, I mean, yeah, I mean, we are a go get school from day one. So if you want to be in that high pressure environment where academics
Mhm.
along with this works for you, great.
Yes.
Probably if not, then it's okay. I mean, we are not the space for you. So I think
Right. Right.
just being honest with universities that maybe what we are asking for is not for everyone.
Right.
But what happens
Correct.
with all the Ivy League one is that everybody thinks that, okay, this is why for me. And somebody was talking about University of South Carolina, you or the colleague earlier, how
Hmm.
the location of that university is good for certain courses because it is
Yeah.
located there and has, nobody knows about it, but it has good
Right.
scholarship. You can go there, you can have a breather, you
Absolutely.
can relax. And so everybody does not have to end up in Harvard,
Correct.
Princeton, or those Ivy
Absolutely.
Leaguers. And then
Yeah.
if they don't get in, then their mindset also loses, right? I mean,
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Yeah.
life, they are like, okay, I couldn't get into Harvard, that's why I'm here. I mean, that's the mindset.
Right.
Or it's
They
very
they
different
feel they
from
feel it's a compromise. Yeah, they feel it's a compromise,
compromise.
which is not true. Which is not true.
Not
You're
true,
getting
not
to a
true.
place with, and I love it about the kids nowadays. A lot of them are open-minded to find a
Yeah,
fit. When I have these
good.
it takes me a couple of conversations to convince them. When I use this video by Malcolm Gladwell, I think at Google Zeitgeist or something, he uses data to prove that how well you do in college is more important than which college you go to. And uses
Yeah,
data where he shows that the bottom rankers at Harvard have done worse in life than the top rankers at a much lower place school. Even though in high school, these bottom rankers were probably better than these top rankers in another school. And this is in his book, David versus Goliath, as well. A full chapter is dedicated to using data to prove that how well you do in college determines how well you do in life. So it's a wonderful thing to look
wow.
at.
Yeah, I just looked it up on, I'd share it
Ah,
in the chat box also for others.
yeah.
I think sounds like I will watch this video. But
It's
thank
and
you,
I use
Nirmal,
it
for
to share with my parents, and it opens their mind for a while. Then they forget it, then to refresh it for them. Because they'll go to one party and they'll start talking about Harvard and UPenn and everything again.
Harvard and UPenn, and then they're gone. Like, no, 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 my kid is for Harvard. I mean, yeah, we all know that. Every kid is. Okay. Somebody
Just
told
just
me,
to
I mean,
just to expand that conversation, I think
बताइए,
we
please.
all we all are to blame on that, right? I
Yeah,
mean, as counselors, as universities, we are looking at kids who have to do everything. And as counselors, we want our good kids to do everything. Oh, you have to write a
yeah,
research paper because everyone else is writing it. But
yeah,
sometimes we forget the story, we forget the authentic kid that kid is, that person, that student is, and how to make the most of that authenticity. So that's where the role is very important. Let's not go down that same well-trodden path that do a sport, do a community service, have a passion project, write a research paper, and you'll get into a good place. Let the kid be the genuine self.
yeah, absolutely.
Sorry,
Thank you
you were
so
saying
much,
something,
Nirmal.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, so I was just saying my next pointer was in the same direction. Why does information not create more clarity? Is
Mm,
because then information may be coming from seven, eight different sources, from their seven, eight
yeah.
different influencers who have their own motivations. I mean, parents want one thing, the kids want another thing, the
Mm,
school wants another thing. the career counselor would want another thing, and then they're like, okay, so the kid is like at the end
Right.
of it, okay, let me do what I want to do. So I
Yeah.
think that's what you would have wanted to speak about this, or is there
Yes,
something else you want to share?
no, no, I just, I want to add to that with my personal experience. I think I've
Yeah.
already mentioned the information overload, but my experience has been kids sometimes come to me and they have other friends who are going to other counselors. Oh, that counselor is asking that kid to do this. Why aren't you telling me? They forget
Mm,
that their story is different. They are not their
mm,
friend. They are not their neighbor. They are not someone else. So the profile we are building, helping them build and giving them ideas for relates to their story and their genuine self. So I think
mm.
this information overload creates confusion, creates decision paralysis because of the choice overload that students are getting, right? And a lot of the online things you're getting are giving you the what. They're not giving the whys. Whys come from within you, right? The fit, the
Yeah.
values, the trade-offs you face when you are looking at colleges and you think the clarity comes from the why. And that's a conversation that you have with your counselor. It doesn't come from information that is out there, which is the what. The why is equally important. This example of the student
Uh,
earlier today who got information overload and got panicked, right? She
yeah,
went into full panic
absolutely.
mode. I don't want to go anymore, and had to counsel her into going. So information, while good, will have
Absolutely.
its downsides as well.
Downside as well. And then how is AI, global geopolitics, changing student thinking? That was also on my
Yeah,
mind when I was creating those
correct,
questions for you. You want to
correct,
add
correct.
that?
You did mention that. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
I think AI is two-sided. It's a wonderful tool. I tell my students, I show them how to do it, how to put in their profile there, how to ideate, how to brainstorm, how to use their brainstorming questions for essays and come out with themes and stories, etc. But I tell them not to go beyond that. There's a lot of hallucination which happens. I don't want a standard
Yeah.
cookie cutter essay out there because I know when an AI essay comes to me that it's not written by the student. It speeds
Yeah.
up logistics. It can also flatten the authentic voice of the student. So that is something the student has to really care about. Also, I think AI is causing this anxiety in students about what careers are going to exist because they see and they hear a lot of careers are being taken over with AI coming in, especially entry level CS and all that. So CS is no longer the automatic safe choice it used to be, right? So
Mm.
that anxiety is coming in and says that is my career, my choice going to be relevant despite AI functioning the way it is or evolving the way it is? And I like to tell them that, your careers are not going to be taken over by AI. It's going to be taken over by someone who knows how to use AI well. So you
Yeah.
better learn how to use the best tools at your disposal. Also on the geopolitics front, I think some of the previous panelists also mentioned it, and people are facing a lot of visa uncertainty, changing rules everywhere. A lot of noise coming, especially from the Trump land, about after study visas and H-1Bs and OPTs and shifting immigration policies, cap on student permits in Australia and Canada. So a lot of noise, a lot of changes, and countries are becoming insular. They're looking more inside, wanting to protect their domestic citizens in a
Yeah.
recession economy. You have to do that because you want to give the jobs to your own people rather than get skilled labor from outside. So students are looking at more a portfolio, I think, applying across 3 to 4 countries, not just one country. So 10 years ago, I would have a credit for USA alone or UK alone or Singapore alone. Now they're saying let's do 3 to 4 countries. And then we'll decide what the geopolitical situation is, where do I get in and go there, right? And students are also looking more at I would say, an outcome driven approach, asking the practical questions. Can I work in this country? Will it give me part-time work? Will it give me full-time work opportunities? Can I stay back and look for jobs? And most countries do allow that right now, right? So it's not just about a good university anymore. It's about the outcomes after attending that university, which will change from country to country. So geopolitics has enabled them, has forced them, I believe, to really look into these conversations and these questions more than anything else.
Wonderful. I am also conscious of the time, Nirmalji. We
Yeah,
are at
yeah, I
6,
understand.
5:59. So
Right.
finally, I mean, my final question to you is, I mean, how should counselors tackle the
Yeah.
Gen Z? What is it that a counselor needs to do? And I know it's a very loaded question. I mean, a very complex question.
It
But
is.
if I can think of somebody who can answer this in, let's say, next 5 minutes, it's you. Let me put it this way. So
Putting me on
let's,
the spot. Yeah.
yeah,
You
let me
love you
put you
love
on the
doing
spot.
that. Yeah, you love doing
Yeah.
that. I've seen it every
No,
time
but
I've met you.
you have, you can articulate that well. So please, over to you.
So as I mentioned, I think I did bring up this point that our roles are evolving. It's not transactional anymore. It's got to be something which is more supportive, which is more transformative. We have to look inside the student. We have to look for what's underneath their stated goal. Rather than if someone comes to me and says, I want to study computer science. So does it mask something else that my parents are putting that pressure on me to study engineering or computer science, or
Mm,
I'm doing it because the job situation is like this, or whatever it is? So I try to go into real conversations with them. So as I said, I want to move beyond the transaction. They come to me, maybe when I was beginning my career, I could have said, okay, I want to do computer science. Let's look at colleges that give computer science. Now I'll have a few sessions just on why computer science. What have you done that convinces me? If I'm the college, I'm going to ask you, why do you want to do computer science? And you have to write that in a statement of purpose. So assume I'm the college. Tell me why. Show me your love for computer science. Show me the skills you have. Show me the real reason you want to do it. So I want to go beyond that. And I want to build in unstructured conversations, not just very goal-oriented sessions that this is what we have to do, but unstructured and honest conversations, get to know them better. Because these honest conversations are where things about students come up sideways, not through direct questions, but through something they say, and then you can go deeper into it. Through my conversations, we've had students come out and openly profess that they are gay, right? And this is something they've not been able to share with their parents, and there's a whole pressure on them, and they're not able to put time into their studies, into anything else because of the stress around it. So because of this relationship building, we were able to really counsel them more. I also got another psychologist involved in the process, gave them the reference of that person. So unless I had these conversations, the student would never have opened up to me to really talk about what they really care about, what really is maybe putting them under a lot of stress where their grades are going down. So if I say your grades are going down, you have to do better, that doesn't work anymore, right? So I also need to be more comfortable in saying, I don't know. I don't know everything, right? I don't know where the job market is going to be in a few years. The student and parents come and tell me, which jobs do you think are going to be great in 5 years when my kid comes out, right? And I can't answer that. I don't know. Didn't know 5 years ago what AI would be doing today, right? I had no clue what ChatGPT could do, what Cloud could do, what Perplexity could do. I don't know in 5 years where these or they could be out and there could be other things, what they could do. Maybe I'll not be relevant anymore. There'll be some model doing my job, right? So I don't know the future, but I'm open to talking. I'm open to sharing what skills your child should build. I'm open to looking at colleges that your child will fit into, which will build the skills and prepare them for the life ahead. Rather than one domain skill, but what prepares you, what enables you to learn, relearn, unlearn, whatever is required. All those, lingos we've heard over the years is more relevant right now. I think Philip Toffler was the one who came out with the term creative destruction, right? So, a
yeah.
caterpillar has to destroy itself to become a beautiful butterfly. That is what students have to keep on doing in this age. They have to relearn, they have to come out of their comfort zone and keep doing these things, keep learning and become the butterfly they have to be.
And I think thank you so much for articulating that so well. I mean, that's why I believe in you. मेरे एक चीज और I will add here. Uh, just for the last couple of years that I have been a teacher, and that's what I have realized in all the good career counselors that are here on this panel, that we are ourselves continuously learning new things. I mean,
Yeah.
gone are the days what we used to practice 2 years back is going to be relevant maybe 2 years down the line. I mean, things are
Mhm.
evolving so fast, and career counseling is such a vast landscape. I mean, somebody, I mean, 4 or 5 years back, somebody told me, "Are you a career counselor?" I said, "No, I tried, but then I gave up because it's so vast. I mean, how can you know everything? Because you were mentioning it. How can you know psychology? How can you know the best universities? How can you know the admission
Mm.
processes of UK, US, Canada, Australia? I mean, I used to when I was with C
Yeah.
Alpha, we used to interview career counselors for the role of we were onboarding career counselors, and they said, why don't you do the
Mm.
interviews? And then that's when I started reading more about career counseling. And then career counselors used to come to me for interviews, and they used to say, I'm an Australia expert. I'm a UK expert. I'm like, what is a UK expert? So they will tell me, okay, I know only UCAS, I know only 15 universities in UK, how to apply to them. That's my forte. So I'm like, okay, why don't you know about Australia? Why don't you know about US? And why don't you know about Canada? And I like, okay, so that's not my foot. So then I realized when I started reading about career counseling, it's such a serious business because if you are because when I was, just to conclude this, when I was in grade 12, grade 10, somebody told me, या तो नॉन मेडिकल ले लो या मेडिकल ले लो. I said, यार मेडिकल तो लूंगा तो मरीज खराब हो जाएंगे सारे. नॉन मेडिकल ठीक है, इंजीनियरिंग पीछे कंप्यूटर के पीछे बैठ जाऊंगा, ज्यादा से ज्यादा कोड गंदा बनेगा. Somebody will take care of that code. But career counseling is as serious business as medical. I mean, because you have such a big responsibility on your heads. I mean, their lives, their entire the decision making, the families are impacted by what you're doing. So I didn't have the heart to take this up. So kudos to all of you for taking that up and then running with it, and then understanding, and what you mentioned, Nirmal, understanding the student motivations is so important. Where is that interest coming from? I mean, I want to do computer engineering. Is it because I want to do it, or maybe my father wants me to do it, or I want to go to XYZ college because my father can boast about it in the cocktail party next time that he's at one, or is they really that I may be happy doing something elsewhere? So those conversations and the counselors that actually spend that time understanding the student are the counselors that are going to be remembered by that student for a long, long time. And even though you may have some hard conversations with them, those are the people that they respect. That is what I've realized when they grow up, they go around. So thank you so much, Nirmal. Always an honor to host you and to learn from you. Today was yet another day. I really want to also thank you to all the other panelists that are here till the last, for sticking around and learning from each other. I mean, sharing is what we can do. Finally, I mean, career counseling being such a large landscape, I also realize we have to bring people together and work together if we have to solve this. It is not one person's alone job. There is so much to do here. So thank you so much. It's